Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome on a cold day. And I want to say thank you for your patience. You will have noticed we did not start on time. The team is working rapidly to make sure that all technical difficulties are resolved because it is very important to us that the caregivers we're honoring today are able to participate. So, with that, my name is Anna Greenberg. I'm the CEO of Ontario Health at Home. It is my honor to welcome you to our fourth annual Above and Beyond Caregiver Recognition Celebration. Today, April 7th, is National Caregiver Day, and together with the many Ontario Health at Home board members, staff, volunteers, and partners, I'm pleased to welcome our very special guests to the more than 120 caregivers and their families and friends who are joining from all across Ontario. We know for many of you, it is not easy to take the time to do this, and we appreciate you being with us here today. Before we begin, it's my pleasure to introduce Jody Harbour, co-founder and executive director of Grandmother's Voice, whose work raises awareness and strengthens collaboration across health and social services. We're grateful for this relationship and continued collaboration, and to have Jody open our event in a good way.
Scano, Ani, hello, greetings to each and every one of you gathered here today across the many homelands and communities we call home. My name is Jody Harbour, and I come to you today as a mom, a wife, a sister, a daughter, a granddaughter, auntie, great auntie, and someone who carries the stories, songs, and teachings of those who came before me. I'm also here on behalf of Grandmother's Voice, a collective of people who believe in the power of remembering who we are, where we come from, and why we are here. Before we begin today, I want to acknowledge the land, this beautiful land that has always been home to Indigenous peoples. We're gathered today across Turtle Island, the traditional territories of many nations. These lands hold the memory of generations. They hold the laughter of children and the tears of our elders. They hold the footsteps of those who have walked here before us, offering care and medicine, food and teachings, safety and love. As we gather here today in a special way, we acknowledge our place in this circle of life, the circle of family, of community, of responsibility, and of care. Today we have gathered to honor caregivers. In many Indigenous communities, caregivers are known by many names. Some are biological family and some are chosen family, but they all share a common spirit. They are helpers, the ones who tend to the sacred fire of life when it flickers, the ones who carry water for those who are thirsty, not just in body but in spirit, the ones who listen quietly when words are too heavy to speak. I want you to picture for a moment the image of a grandmother sitting by the fire weaving her basket. Her fingers move with patience and purpose, weaving together the strands of sweetgrass. She braids together strength, kindness, and wisdom. That is what caregivers do every day. They weave together the broken pieces. They braid together the ordinary and the sacred. They create something strong enough to carry the burdens of another. And yet caregiving often goes unseen. It is not always celebrated. Sometimes it is done in the silence of the night when the world is sleeping and no one is there to witness the small kindnesses, the quiet sacrifices, the whispered prayers. But today we see you, we hear you, and we honor you. In the teachings of the Anishinaabe people, there are 7 grandfather teachings. These are guiding principles for living a good life: love, respect, bravery, truth, honesty, humility, and wisdom. And I believe that each caregiver carries these teachings in their heart. They love without condition. They respect the journey of those they care for. They are brave in the face of uncertainty. They speak and live their truth. They are honest about their limitations and their gifts. They walk in humility, asking for help when needed. And they carry wisdom, wisdom that can only come from walking this path, this sacred path. Today on National Caregiver Day, we open the space in a good way. We offer thanks to those who give so much of themselves, who remind us that love is an action, not just a feeling, that compassion is not a word, but a way of being. You, the caregivers, are the heartbeat of our families, of your families. the steady hands that guide the canoe through the uncertain waters, the ones who carry the songs and stories and who ensure that dignity, respect, and humanity remain at the center of care. As we begin this celebration, I invite you to take a deep breath. Feel the connection between your heart and those around you. Even through a screen, we're in community. We are part of the same sacred circle, and it is through circles like these that we find strength. Let this gathering be one of honor, of reflection, and of deep gratitude. Yamagoa, Chimagwech, and thank you for the sacred work you do.
It's beautiful, Jody. Thank you for grounding our event and providing the opportunity to pause and reflect and breathe. The symbolism of the circle in the reflection is especially meaningful. In our work,
Hello.
we often refer to a circle of care. It encompasses the group of people and partners that support an individual patient, and it's the caregivers and their important circle that complete. I introduce remarks from the Deputy Premier, Minister of Health, Ford, and Deputy Premier and Minister of Health, Sylvia Jones, who asked that we extend their appreciation to this year's honorees. In addition to the greetings included in our event program, is to share this video message with you now.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sylvia Jones, Ontario's Deputy Premier and Minister of Health. On behalf of Premier Ford and our entire government, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you taking part in today's Caregiver Recognition event and congratulate all of the caregivers being recognized and celebrated through the Above and Beyond program. Thank you for your extraordinary efforts. April 7th is also National Caregivers Day, and I would like to express my sincere appreciation and gratitude to all the caregivers in attendance here and across Ontario for your dedication, compassion, and kindness in providing vital care and support to your family and loved ones. Our government, under the leadership of Premier Ford, continues to make record investments to protect and strengthen healthcare in Ontario, to make it easier for patients and their families to connect to convenient care close to home. This includes continuing to work closely with healthcare and community partners to support the integral role of caregivers, ensuring you are supported as you look after your loved ones. Caregivers play a vital role in their family and loved ones' lives and in our healthcare system. And our government is funding a range of supports to assist caregivers, including adult day programs, caregiver support, respite services, and services offered through community agencies and hospitals, as well as investing more in home and community care. Because the only thing better than having care close to home is having care in your home. Congratulations again to everyone being recognized and celebrated today. You are truly remarkable and greatly appreciated for your incredible contributions in our communities and the difference you make in people's lives. I wish you a successful event. Stay well.
We're so grateful to the Premier and to Deputy Premier and Minister of Health, Sylvia Jones, for helping us mark the day. At Ontario Health at Home, we work alongside many partners across the province to deliver connected and accessible care to the patients and families we're privileged to serve. But we know we can't do this alone. Caregivers are essential health partners, and it's through this partnership that we can support people to continue living in their communities, despite the impacts of age, illness, or disability. Our health system and our communities rely on caregivers. A recent spotlight report from the Ontario Caregiver Organization reinforces what many of you already know from lived experience. The pressures and challenges caregivers face are ongoing, leaving nearly 70% of Ontario's over 4 million caregivers unsure they can continue. Many dedicate more than 10 hours each week, often facing difficult choices between career and caregiving, delaying their own health needs, and managing growing financial pressures. The number of caregivers is expected to reach 6 million by 2030. We see this every day in the experiences you share with us, the care you provide, and the impacts of your efforts. It's with this knowledge that 4 years ago, we came together with our volunteer advisors, many of whom are caregivers, and with our staff to listen, to learn, and reflect. From this, the Above and Beyond Caregiver Recognition Program was created to recognize and support caregivers in a meaningful way. Each year, we continue to strengthen this program and its caregiver supports. We remain committed to ensuring caregivers and those they care for have access to services, resources, and guidance. This includes our ongoing efforts to expand education, awareness, and practical tools, such as the recently updated caregiver supports available on our website, with more to come. This time last year, I was still new to Ontario Health at Home. This event provided an immediate opportunity to connect and understand the realities caregivers face across the province. Over the past year, I've had the privilege of meeting many more caregivers and hearing your stories. And though each experience is unique, there is often a common thread, and this is something Jody also mentioned in her reflection: your resilience, your compassion, and unwavering commitment. These stories stay with you, and they remind us of the importance of listening and learning from one another. Today, we will share 10 inspiring caregiver stories, each reflecting the diverse and evolving journeys of caregivers and families across this province. In preparing for this event, we work closely with each recipient to shape how they want their story told. This is why each one may look and feel different. I'd like to extend my sincere appreciation to the caregivers and their families for opening up their lives and, in some cases, their homes to be part of today's event. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce my co-MC, Ontario Health at Home Board Chair, Carol Annett, who will help us begin today's celebration. Greetings from the Board of Directors.
Thank you, Anna, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carol Annett, and it's my privilege to be here with you today on behalf of our Board of Directors as we celebrate together National Caregiver Day. I know I speak for all of us: Kate Fife, Linda Franklin, Don Hurdes, Alicio Orantia, and Thomas Wardman, all of whom have had a role in today's event, when I say how meaningful it is to extend our appreciation and share this important celebration with you. As a board, we are committed to supporting the delivery of high-quality home care services across the province. Through our work, we have the opportunity to witness the dedication of extraordinary caregivers and compassionate Ontario Health at Home staff, who together make home care possible wherever home may be. Caregivers take many forms. They are family members, friends, or neighbors, often hidden, unsung heroes. It can be 24/7, deeply meaningful, but also challenging work without recognition or reward. Caregivers show up when it matters most, offering comfort, preserving quality of life, independence, and dignity. As Anna shared, it's hearing the experiences and stories that leave an imprint. Each year, through our Above and Beyond Caregiver Recognition Program, we ask staff and community members to recognize caregivers whose efforts have left a lasting impression. Some choose to do so by highlighting a caregiver under one of our recognition categories. Each of the categories reflects the many different caregiving journeys, from our youngest caregivers to those supporting loved ones through end-of-life care. Each story speaks of the profound impact caregivers have on individuals, families, and communities. Today, we will feature a few of these stories as we introduce this year's recipients. Most of us will one day step into a caregiving role if we haven't already been one, and for some, this will happen numerous times. It is our hope that in joining us today and hearing these stories, you will leave feeling seen, inspired, and uplifted. So I'm going to introduce the first category, and let me see what it is. So it's my honor to introduce our first recognition category, Caregiver Resilience. This category was inspired by feedback from our volunteer patient and family advisors, who have been instrumental in creating and supporting our Above and Beyond Caregiver Recognition Program and today's event. Each year, the staff working together with these volunteers look for opportunities to update and improve our efforts and ensure they reflect the spectrum of caregiving experiences and the importance of dedicating a category that shines a light on the journey after caregiving to help provide comfort, solace, and encouragement to those experiencing, preparing, or supporting this difficult time. We were touched by the many incredible stories that we received, and I'm honored to introduce this year's Caregiver Resilience recipients, Deborah and Mike Sharp from St. Catharines, Ontario, who were recognized by Care Coordinator Tarish Aconsolino. Before I turn it over to Janet Wright, Vice President of Patient Services, I'd like to also acknowledge that this is Janet's 4th year as co-executive sponsor of our Above and Beyond program, and we have been so fortunate to count on her leadership.
Hello, I'm Janet Wright, Vice President of Patient Services for Ontario Health Home. It is also an honor to serve as the co-executive sponsor of this event and to recognize the incredible caregivers whose compassion and dedication make such a difference every day. With that, I am honored to introduce this year's Caregiver Resilience recipients, Deborah and Mike Sharp from St. Catharines area, who were recognized by their care coordinator, Tarisha Concolino. With our heartfelt condolences, we are grateful for Mike for allowing us to share this beautiful story of unconditional love in tribute to his beloved late wife, Deborah.
For Mike and Deborah, their love story began later in life. Despite knowing each other since childhood, it wasn't until they reconnected decades later that they realized they were meant to spend their life together. With their complementary personalities, Deborah, a true people person, and Mike, always willing to lend a hand, it was no surprise that volunteering became a shared interest. Over the years, they dedicated their time to causes near and dear to them, like the SPCA or visiting patients and residents with their beloved companion Hazel as part of the St. John Therapy Dog program. Deborah's genuine compassion for others was so evident. When reflecting on her role as a crisis line counselor, she would say, "I am an ear for those who just need someone to listen." They balanced volunteering commitments with their busy day-to-day responsibilities as building managers to a large complex. Devoted to their blended family, when they learned their soon-to-be great-grandson needed them, they never hesitated. In the lead-up to Joshua's birth, it became clear that he would have high needs. When the number of medical diagnoses became evident, the hospital staff cautioned Deborah and Mike that Joshua may not be well enough to leave the NICU, and if he did, the level of care he would need would be extensive. Although Joshua's lifelong mental and physical abilities and progress were uncertain, they were not deterred. As Mike says, Joshua is a highlight of our lives. Though still working, they were steadfast in their determination to provide the best quality of life for Joshua. They were tireless, spending countless hours educating themselves, learning the different strategies, interventions, and equipment recommended by the therapists and medical teams. It is because of these efforts that Joshua continues to not only amaze his care coordinator and care teams, but his great-grandfather too. Mike's motto of, "It's not what he can't do, but what he can," could not be truer than when Joshua surprised everyone with his ability to communicate using sign language. While Joshua was always expressive, particularly with his eyes, his sense of humor now shines through, often being silly or making jokes as a way of showing his awareness and understanding. His strength is also greatly improved, allowing him more independence with the use of his equipment. Mike credits Deborah for the incredible progress Joshua has made in their strong bond, noting the many activities they do together, like Deborah coaching their great-grandson from the end of the hall as he found his balance, encouraging him every step of the way. Stronger and more confident each day, Mike would hear him giggling as he would make his way into Gigi's arms, as Joshua lovingly refers to her. Sadly, Deborah was diagnosed with cancer and soon began treatment. In the face of all of this, they continued to work together, even as Mike became primary caregiver to both she and Joshua. Mike never missed a beat. He oversaw all the services and care, ensuring that Joshua never lost any of the progress he had made. As Deborah's cancer progressed, Mike was steadfast in his commitment. While grappling with his wife's prognosis, he continued to put hers and Joshua's needs first. Knowing how much it hurt them to be separated, Mike would arrange regular video calls. It's those moments, remembering how they would both light up seeing one another and the love reflected on their faces, that he cherishes. Joshua was everything to Deborah, which is why, when they were awarded legal guardianship, Mike knew that this was the long-awaited confirmation that Deborah was holding on for, reassured in the knowledge that he and Joshua would have each other. For Mike, these last several months have been challenging, but it's Joshua that has got him through. With Deborah's passing in October, Mike lost his soulmate, best friend, and partner. While navigating end-of-life care and grief, he's found strength and solace in his faith, work, and community, both local and the one he's found online, connecting with other caregivers supporting children like Joshua. He's found a renewed purpose and a way of honoring Deborah's legacy by dedicating his spare time to helping other families, from sharing tips he's learned and resources he's created to collecting, coordinating, and delivering excess medical supplies to others. Now 3, Joshua continues to astonish everyone. Still navigating their new world and shared loss, honoring and remembering Gigi is woven throughout their routine, which begins bright and early at 5:30 a.m. Each morning, Mike is greeted with a beaming Joshua, eager to start their day. Medication and breakfast is followed by practicing their signing and nursery rhymes, like Twinkle Twinkle, that Joshua can now proudly do by himself. Mike, when recognizing that Joshua responds well to touch and textures, created one of their favorite activities. As Joshua proudly wears a different animal mask, he will match it with a little figurine, and together they will sign its name and different facts. In meeting Mike to prepare his story, he was eager to share and celebrate Joshua's recent successes, like the good news they received from the medical team or the number of words he can now sign. To say that Mike is a proud great-grandparent is an understatement. Joshua keeps him on his toes, and he's had to speed up his own learning with sign language to stay ahead. It's in the quiet moments, though, that they'll cuddle on their favorite chair and talk to Gigi. Her presence is still felt as Joshua will point to a picture or sign her name. Then Mike will tell him stories about Gigi and all the people who love him as Joshua rests his head to feel the vibrations from Mike's voice. Like many caregivers, Mike prefers to talk about Joshua and Deborah more than himself. However, in reflecting on the last few months and what got him through, he told us, "It's important to enjoy the time you have." When thinking about losing Deborah, he's now reframed his perspective from focusing on the why to simply being thankful for her. For Mike, there's no regrets. He shares, "Joshua has brought us so much joy, and we get back more than we give. He's already surpassed everyone's expectations. I want the limited time he has to be great. In my eyes, he's perfect."
What an incredible story of resilience. Mike's admiration and love for Deborah is so profound. When we approached Mike with this recognition, unsurprisingly, his first thoughts were of Deborah, as he shared how grateful he was that she would have this acknowledgement, yet another display of his selfless devotion. We would like to thank our care coordinator, Tricia, for recognizing Deborah and Mike for the remarkable care and support of their great-grandson. It is not difficult to imagine the complexity and emotion that comes with navigating loss and grief as a full-time caregiver. We extend our sincere appreciation to Mike for his vulnerability and openness and allowing us to share their story.
And what a story it is. Such a story. And it truly does embody what it means to be resilient. And I would just like to add my sincere appreciation to Mike for welcoming the opportunity to recognize what he and Deborah have done together and his willingness to share so openly during this difficult time. So thank you so much for recognizing this truly resilient couple and Mike's continued unwavering devotion to Deborah and Joshua. And you cannot but just feel the love and how cute that little guy is. He is definitely Deborah's legacy. Our next recognition category, Caring with Courage, focus on those whose encouragement, empowerment, and support has directly brought about positive change to their loved one's quality of life. We received so many incredible submissions, and many of these included the different approaches and relationships that caregiving often requires. To highlight a few of these stories and examples, we have 3 Caring with Courage recipients this year. The first Caring with Courage recipient is Isabel D'Souza from Maple, Ontario. I'll now turn it over to Nancy Saxton to introduce Isabel's story.
Hello, my name is Nancy Saxton. I am one of the Vice Presidents of Patient Services with Ontario Health at Home, supporting the geographies of North Simcoe, Muskoka, and Central. Today, I'm honored to introduce Caring with Courage recipient Isabel D'Souza from our Vaughan area in the Central geography, who was recognized by her long-standing care coordinator, Jill Hartzog.
In meeting Isabel, you were immediately struck by her fierce determination, advocacy, and boundless love for her husband Joseph and their beloved daughter Anna. For over 40 years, Isabel has been relentless in her quest to give her daughter the best care and quality of life. It's with this unwavering devotion and compassion that Isabel is able to provide in-depth, around-the-clock care to Anna, who at now 56 is confined to a bed due to an undefined progressive neurodegenerative condition. As Anna approached her teenage years, she began to show signs of cognitive and mobility issues, which led to a diagnosis of scoliosis. At 13, Anna had an operation to attempt to correct her scoliosis, but sadly her condition continued to worsen as she faced ongoing challenges. Frustratingly, doctors and specialists have been unable to confirm the root cause of Anna's condition, and she has continued along a slow path of regression that would eventually lead to the loss of all motor and mobility functions. As you can imagine, this means the type of complex care that Anna requires has continued to shift and evolve over the last several decades. But Isabel and Joseph have remained steadfast in their duties as Anna's loving parents, caregivers, protectors, and advocates. While they did everything they could to find answers and supports for Anna, Isabel and Joseph were also balancing frequent appointments, tests, and work. Following their move from Portugal, Isabel and Joseph settled in Canada and established busy and successful careers that took them around the world, including to the United States, France, and England. Anna loved to travel and would often join one or both of her parents until her needs became too high. With Anna's care, comfort, and safety always top of mind, they adjusted their routines and workloads, with Joseph taking on primary care duties. As Anna's care needs grew, Isabel recognized that additional support was needed and would come to be connected with her long-standing care coordinator, Jill, who has remained with the family for more than 14 years. Jill shared that what sets Isabel apart is her exceptional ability to collaborate with Ontario Health at Home's multidisciplinary team of healthcare professionals, always welcoming their expertise so that she can learn the skills she needed to provide the direct and necessary care for her daughter. When Joseph began experiencing his own health challenges and was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, Isabel stepped away from her career, becoming the full-time caregiver for both Anna and Joseph, who is now mostly confined to a bed. With her long-standing experience, she was prepared to advocate for the same array of supports. Together, Isabel and Jill worked to ensure the same community care support services were in place and adapted to meet his ever-changing needs. Isabel credits her partnership with Jill, who oversees care for both Anna and Joseph, and her deep knowledge of their family for making an incredibly difficult time a little easier. At 5'1", Isabel is small but mighty. With true grit and resolve, around the clock, she tackles challenging caregiving tasks such as suctioning, turning and transfers, management of Anna's G-tube, nutrition, and exceptional skin care to avoid wounds. Often back and forth, Isabel is always at the ready, responding quickly to ensure her daughter and husband are safe and comfortable. Although Anna and Joseph are much taller, and due to their loss of mobility require full support to move, Isabel has not let this faze her.
She has outfitted their home with equipment and tracks so she can move Anna from one room to another using a variety of ceiling and chair lifts to maneuver up and down the stairs. Isabel also helped to design a custom-built hospital bed in Anna's room to ensure it was large enough for her to snuggle in so they could watch movies or simply be together. With Isabel and Joseph, their love and respect for one another is so evident. Married for over 50 years, it takes only a few moments in their presence to see how devoted they are to one another. Amongst the many challenges they face, they continue to be one another's greatest strength. Despite Joseph's health challenges, with a gleam in his eye, his sense of humor still shines through. In preparing their story and telling Joseph about Isabel's special acknowledgement, he teased her caution that all this attention and recognition was going to go to her head. Isabel takes us all in stride as he looked at her then with total admiration and told us, "She does it all. She helps everyone." But if you ask Isabel, she brushes it off, stating it's normal and that this is how she was raised in Portugal. We just look after one another. Her care coordinator, Jill, sees it differently. She shared with us, despite the immense physical and emotional demands of her caregiving role, she approaches each day with remarkable strength, ensuring her husband and daughter's comfort, dignity, and quality of life remain the top priority. And thinking back over the 14 years, Jill continued to share, "I have had the privilege of knowing and supporting Isabel and her family. She is, without a question, a truly outstanding caregiver whose unwavering dedication deserves the fullest recognition and gratitude."
I couldn't agree more. Isabel is a shining example of caring with courage while facing the unknown and doing everything in her power to care for and uplift the ones she loves. It is clear that Jill has built an incredible relationship with the family, and as she presented Isabel with her token of appreciation, Isabel took the moment to share how much their long-standing relationship and years of support have meant to her. Saying of Jill, "You've been such a great inspiration. I know if I have anything, I can just call you and you'll always have an answer for me. It was so nice of you to think of me." What a remarkable journey. Thank you to Isabel, Joseph, and Anna for allowing us to share their story, and to Jill for providing over a decade of exceptional support and recognizing Isabel's extraordinary efforts of being a caregiver.
Extraordinary is the word to use, and it is so remarkable to see that bond and admiration between Isabel and Jill. Truly a great testament to their long-standing relationship. So thank you, Jill, for recognizing Isabel and the support you've provided to the D'Souza family. And Isabel, in the video, it says, "You're small and mighty. I just see big and courageous and loving." Right, so tremendous. Teeny Lee will now introduce our second Caring with Courage recipient, Heather, from Sault Ste. Marie, that also highlights a mother's perseverance and unwavering devotion.
Hello, my name is Teeny Lee. I'm the Chief Quality, Patient Safety, and Risk Officer and the Vice President, Regional Lead for Patient Services. I'm honored to introduce our Caring with Courage recipient, Heather, from the Sault Ste. Marie area. Her cousin, Jessica Joseph, has acknowledged Heather for the many, many ways she continues to go above and beyond. I recognize and appreciate the unique challenges our Northern Region patients and families face. And this is even more apparent when caring for a loved one with complex medical needs. We are grateful to Heather and her family for allowing us to shine a light on some of these realities as we share their story of determination, perseverance, and love.
Heather is a dedicated mom of two and the full-time caregiver to her daughter Leah. It was during a routine ultrasound that Heather and her husband Brad would learn that there were challenges with their second pregnancy that required further investigation and a referral to Mount Sinai's genetics and high-risk obstetrics programs. For them, this meant flying or driving well over 8 hours from Sault Ste. Marie to Toronto for regular and weekly checkups, tests, and procedures until the risk became too high and Heather was admitted. Then Leah arrived, Delivered at only 26 weeks, she was tiny but mighty at 680 grams or 1.5 pounds. To give you a sense of just how incredible she is, that's the size of 3 small apples or a large Tim Hortons cup. Shortly after, Heather's keen maternal instincts told her that Leah's symptoms were more than a cold, something that was already uncommon for a baby her size. Heather's persistence and the NICU team's concerns led to Leah becoming the smallest cystic fibrosis patient in the history of Mount Sinai Hospital at only 21 days old. This is the first of many records that Leah would challenge as she defied every expectation. To continue their care, Heather and Leah remained in Toronto, transferring to the hospital for sick children. It would be 9 days before Leah's first birthday that they were finally discharged, but sadly this would only last a few short days, as Leah, Heather, and her family would endure another grueling year-long admission until they would be home together in Sault Ste. Marie. Throughout all this time, Brad traveled back and forth with Leah's older brother Kevin as he balanced care, support, and work as the family's sole provider. Leah, a sweet, bright girl with a contagious smile and laugh, would face more medical complexities and diagnoses over the years, including congenital heart disease and bone marrow failure. She requires life-sustaining supports like the use of oxygen machine full-time and receives all of her hydration, nutrition, and essential medications through a special IV tube that goes through her chest wall into her heart. As you can imagine, this means Leah requires 24/7 complex hands-on care, all of which is provided by Heather, who stepped away from her career as an audiologist. Her role extends beyond being a mother, and as Jessica told us, she's Leah's full-time caregiver, advocate, nurse, and protector. To manage and support Leah's highly complex needs, Heather has become an expert. Her encyclopedic knowledge of diagnoses, medications, surgical history, treatments, therapies, and nutrition is astounding. Heather does this and so much more as she manages and balances a family of four's full calendar with a precise care routine. This is compounded by the time and mental load of scheduling, tracking, documenting, and communicating with multiple specialists and care team members and providers, both locally and in Toronto. Before the age of 7, Leah has spent over 1,000 days in hospital, has had over 200 surgical procedures, 18 blood transfusions, and has been airlifted 29 times, some of these proudly represented by the lengths of unique bravery beads she's collected over the years. Yet amongst the needed appointments and travel to and from Toronto, Heather and Brad knew what needs to be done. They just want their children to be happy, and that happiness is their biggest motivator. Being from the north where high-needs products are not easily accessible or can simply be found at the local pharmacy, Heather makes sure she's always prepared and plans ahead, determined to make Leah's every wish a reality. They embrace her curiosity and find creative ways to make activities like camping and even tobogganing safe as possible. For Heather and her family, the goal is always simple: to help Leah live her best life. Despite her medical complexities, Leah, like any younger sibling, wants to play and keep up with her older brother, and that, for her, meant learning how to ride a bike. And like everything else, their family found a way. Through fundraising, Heather sourced a special pedal bike from England that was able to be adapted and modified to carry Leah's IV pump, bags, and oxygen tank. Now today, Leah can ride alongside Kevin, her big brother, best friend, and loyal protector, and now dedicated steering coach. The family has even found a way to modify swimming for Leah by adding some water in a small pool, always carefully standing by to ensure she doesn't get her dressings wet. They are making memories, including their much-anticipated wish trip, and each of these are cherished moments and milestones that their family never thought would be possible. With unending love and support and incredible sacrifice, Heather and her family have made it their mission to help Leah enjoy every moment. Now 7, Leah continues to surpass all expectations. In speaking with cousin Jessica and the family's Ontario Health Home Care Coordinator, it is clear that this is due in large part to Heather's exceptional care and unrelenting advocacy, and of course, Leah's fierce determination. Together, they're an unstoppable pair.
What a remarkable journey and incredible example of caring with courage. We've only touched on a few examples today, but it is clear Heather's incredible efforts and the family's encouragement, empowerment, and support have made what would seem impossible possible. What an incredible family, and thank you so much. I'd also like to acknowledge and thank Jessica for giving Heather the recognition that she so deserves. Thank you.
Wow, that's a tremendous, tremendous story. There's a lot of bravery beads there. I think they can be shared amongst everyone in that family and community. What an inspiring story. Lastly, Kate Fife is going to introduce our third Caring with Courage recipients, Syed and Sakina Mehdi, and they are from Scarborough.
It is a pleasure to join you today as we come together to celebrate the extraordinary people who make such a meaningful difference in the lives of others. My name is Kate Fife, and I'm a member of the Ontario Health Home Board. Every day, caregivers show up with heart, resilience, and an unwavering commitment to others. The work is not always easy, and it often happens behind the scenes, but its impact is profound and lasting. I'm honored to introduce Syed and Sakina Mehdi, Caring with Courage recipients from the Scarborough area, who were recognized by their care coordinator, Arlette Kasongo. Their actions truly embody the spirit of care, compassion, and excellence.
Care coordinator Arlette first met Sakina and Syed when their second son Abdullah needed support with his development. Through this connection, they found guidance, clarity, and much needed relief, now equipped with the information and a plan. With Arlette and their team, they learned that both their sons, Nu, their oldest, and Abdullah, live with autism, each with unique needs requiring individualized supports. Navigating multiple organizations, ministries, and funding applications quickly became part of their reality. Eager to learn all they could and to seize every opportunity to best support their children, they participated in planning meetings, webinars, and workshops to help understand the diverse needs, patterns, and behaviors and the best methods to support neuromotor development and early learning strategies. Together, they attended appointments and specialized programs offered by organizations such as Holland Clearview Kids Rehabilitation Hospital, Surrey Place, Silent Voice Canada, and Bob Rumble Canadian Centre of Excellence for the Deaf. These experiences supported their children's growth in movement, communication, including nonverbal methods and sign language, as well as social and life skills that they continue to this day. At home, they've created a supportive environment, weaving in therapy strategies into daily routines. Their belief in their children's potential has remained constant. With encouragement and consistency, their children have made meaningful progress in motor, social, and communication skills, an incredible achievement given the time and attention needed to nurture these skills that were especially challenging while navigating a pandemic and welcoming their third child, Amira. Today, Nu, 7, Abdullah, 5, and Amira, recently 2, each live with varying neurological and developmental conditions that require both shared and individual supports. Daily life includes carefully tailored routines, equipment, and communication approaches, with Abdullah and Amira, who is also deaf, communicating nonverbally. Through every challenge, Sakina and Syed have shown unwavering resilience and commitment, ensuring each child's needs are met at school, in specialized daycare, and at home in the various programs they attend. Never discouraged, they focus on meeting each child where they are, striving for progress and taking every opportunity to celebrate each milestone, big or small, because they recognize how important these achievements are. They are strong advocates for their children, always considering both present and future needs. They prioritize opportunities for them to connect, build confidence, and develop skills, participating in both specialized and community programs as often as they can. For Nu, this has meant trying new sports like Taekwondo and soccer. And when Syed noticed his response to playing with the team, he encouraged him to take on the role of goalie, turning what would be a challenge and a need for space into a strength. With a focus and a purpose, Syed harnessed his attention while also giving Nu the space, shifting from feeling different to having a superpower and now a strong member of the team. When concerns arise at school or in programs, Syed and Sakina gently shift the focus to their children's strengths and progress, highlighting abilities such as reading and signing and reinforcing just how far they've all come. Both have taken sign language classes to better communicate with Abdullah and Amira, and added commitment especially as Sakina had paused her English courses to focus on their children's needs. These efforts have brought meaningful moments, including when Amira recently signed her first word, Dad. In 2025, their caregiving role expanded further when Syed's father was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. As his health quickly and aggressively declined, they moved into his home to provide full-time care, requiring New to change schools and adjust to a new environment. Despite these added pressures, they maintained focus on their children's progress, working closely with educators to ensure learning plans reflected abilities and not limitations. After Syed's father passed away on January 1st, he approached estate planning and funeral planning with the same care and diligence he brought to parenting, thoughtful, informed, and deeply rooted in family and cultural values. Through it all, Sakina and Syed have remained committed to nurturing their children's growth while also creating much-needed space for connection and joy. They make time for events and outings as a family to connect beyond their busy routines, therapies, and appointments. This time very meaningful, getting out as often as they can. In sharing their experience, they emphasize that it was through Arlette's support and advocacy that their world of possibilities truly opened up. Arlette has been an integral and devoted member of their care team and journey, supporting each of their children. Over the past 7 years, Syed and Sakina have remained steadfast through the highs and lows, always encouraging their children to find and explore their abilities. Their home is a hub for learning and growth and unflinching gratitude and positivity. They beam with pride when speaking of each of their children, which is why when asking Syed to reflect on the last few years and what they've endured, there was no surprise when he shared how it has given him perspective, that he now sees what truly matters. And to him, it's his family and being able to support them as best he can, always motivated and truly inspired by his beloved children.
There's no question that Syed and Sakina have demonstrated incredible courage in caring for their 3 beautiful children and Syed's late father. Their ability to support one another and care for multiple generations at once truly reflect their dedication, empathy, and strong family-centered values. Thank you, Syed and Sakina, for allowing us to share your story of perseverance, intention, and unconditional love. I'd also like to thank Arlette for not only recognizing their remarkable family and for the care and support she's provided.
What a model for parents everywhere. It's a beautiful story. Thank you. I'd like to just echo Kate's thanks to Arlette for her commitment to the Medi family, supporting these remarkable parents to ensure they and their children can thrive. Our next category, caring and sharing, recognizes a caregiver who is giving back to their community by helping and guiding others through sharing the knowledge and experience gained from their journey. I'll turn it to Lisa Burden to now introduce this year's recipient is Alicia Horn from Stratford, Ontario.
Hello, my name is Lisa Burden, and I'm the Chief Patient Services Officer at Ontario Health and Home. I am so honored to introduce this year's Caring and Sharing recipient, Alicia Horn, from the Stratford area, who was recognized by her friend Marilyn Robbins.
For Alicia and her husband Bill, dairy farming is more than a shared passion. It's in their genes, with both coming from multi-generational farm families. However, in September 2024, that legacy would be challenged when just 2 years shy of their wedding and 4 years into realizing their dream of running their own dairy farm, their life suddenly changed. While Bill was going through the morning chores, he suffered what they would soon confirm was a stroke. It was Alicia's quick thinking and action that have very well saved Bill's life. Although he wasn't showing the common signs and symptoms typically associated with a stroke, Alicia recognized the subtle changes in Bill that prompted them to rush to the hospital. This would be a pivotal moment for Alicia and something that would drive her desire to share her experience in the hopes of educating others on stroke awareness. As the initial shock wore off and they began to confront the uncertainty of Bill's road to recovery, Alicia stepped into action. The work ethic and drive she learned growing up empowered her to care for Bill, manage the dairy farm and feed crops, and continue her career. This was her dream, and she knew she could do it. One of their first goals was to get Bill to his son's wedding, which was to take place just shortly after his stroke. 2.5 weeks later into his recovery, they turned this into a reality. Working together with a therapy team, they ensured both Bill and Alicia were comfortable in doing what they needed to do to attend. Alicia attended as many physical therapy sessions as she could. She wanted to learn the different exercises and how best to adapt for Bill's needs. And this is where Alicia's out-of-the-box creativity and drive really shone through. She knew Bill was motivated to get back to the farm. And to get there, it was important that their care team understood this goal and the skills and activities required to successfully run their farm. And so, Alicia created the Dairyman's Therapy Kit. She brought in show-and-tell items like parts of the milking equipment and tools so that the staff could feel the weight and understand the dexterity required to operate them. She also created videos by filming friends performing the different tasks around the farm so that staff could see the repetitive nature and what is required to tend to the farm and milk a cow, like squatting, bending and lifting, and reaching needed to move the equipment. Together with Bill's care team, they balanced these farm tasks with traditional exercises, even putting tape on the floor of Bill's room to mimic the gutters and other obstacles he would encounter so that he could practice stepping over them and making sure that his balance was strong. In and out of the hospital, Alicia got creative. She became an expert thrifter, scouring local secondhand shops to find similar exercise equipment the staff was using so that Bill could transition home and do his exercises. She was always thinking about the big picture, knowing where she and Bill wanted to be and figuring out the little steps that they needed to do to get there. Naturally open and honest, Alicia found that sharing her journey also helped her navigate her new world while also educating others. She used social media to document her journey and bring awareness to post-stroke recovery as well as caregiving. Alicia's posts were vulnerable. She never shied away from discussing the good days and the bad, including the impacts on her own mental health. When Stroke Awareness Month approached, she felt compelled to share their experience to help others recognize, spot, and understand the symptoms, or lack of, and the importance of taking quick action. Together, Bill and Alicia have also advocated for several patient experience improvements, from presenting to their local hospital's board of directors to advocating for updates to the guidelines for reinstating a driver's license after a medical event. Bill's 50 days in hospital concluded with a milking race, where the staff's newfound farm knowledge was put to the test and where Bill could show off his reclaimed skills. While everyone agrees Bill was a true champion that day, Bill and Alicia continues to celebrate the wins, with each milestone achieved, like cutting the first steak, climbing the farm equipment again, and even driving. Meeting Alicia, you can see she's a force and she's not done yet. Alicia credits her family and broader farming community who helped come together and continue to provide unwavering support for her, Bill, and their farm. Looking back on her approach to caregiving, Alicia shared that it was her father's role modeling following her mother's illness that inspired her, telling us, "There were moments I felt overwhelmed, but I would come back to my dad's words. I made a vow. That grounded me. It reminded me why I was doing all of this. So, I would wipe my tears, tie my hair back, and keep going. At the end of the day, I'm simply grateful that Bill is still here. I made a vow to stand by him, to support him, and walk this journey with him, and that is exactly what I continue to do." Today, Bill has made incredible progress, though he still lives with some lasting effects from his stroke. Alicia continues to work while managing the farm and supporting Bill's ongoing rehabilitation. She said to us, "Though our lifestyle has changed and our routines may have shifted, our priorities have become clearer. We learn to share more, appreciate more, and focus on what truly matters.
What an incredible love story and a wonderful example of caring and sharing. Thank you, Alicia and Bill, for continuing to shine a light on the different ways that stroke can appear and affect individuals. We often use the term patient-centered care, and this story provides many examples of how matching care with goals can help aid in recovery. I'm impressed and inspired by the creative ways that Alicia worked with each of Bill's care team members and the new and innovative ways for them to understand what it truly means to be a dairy farmer and how they could help him get his skills back. A truly remarkable couple. Thank you to Alicia and Bill.
Wow, Alicia, you managed to bring smiles and tears all at the same time. That was incredibly inspiring. Our next recognition category recognizes caregiving partners who have provided long-standing and continued support to their loved one. We're pleased to recognize 2 dedicated caregiving couples under this category. Our first recipients are Sue and David Lovell from New Lowell, Ontario. I'll turn it over to board member Linda Franklin to share Sue and David's story.
Hello, everyone. I'm Linda Franklin, a member of the board of Ontario Health Home, and I'm so delighted to be able to take part in this wonderful celebration of truly remarkable caregivers. I'm especially honored to introduce Sue and David Lovell, partners and care recipients from the North Simcoe Muskoka area, who were recognized by their long-term care coordinator, Sabrina Umferson.
For Sue and David, their unwavering love for their 2 foster children, Patrick and Breeze, knows no bounds. Their journey as foster parents began when Patrick first came into their lives at the age of 2. David, then a paramedic, and Sue, a former nursing aide, felt they were ready to meet the level of care he required to help him thrive. 5 years later, a 7-year-old sweet little bundle of energy named Breeze would complete their family. For Sue and David, the priority was providing their foster children with the best quality of life and as many experiences as they could. While Patrick had his own healthcare needs earlier in life, with Breeze, her outlook was always uncertain, and the level of care has significantly increased year over year. For Sue and David, every day was a gift, so they focused on making memories, traveling to places like Banff, Calgary, Halifax, and Myrtle Beach. They also enjoyed exploring their hometown of Kenora, particularly Lake of Woods, where they would spend time fishing and camping. These were cherished times and something that Sue would later be grateful for as Breeze's care needs increased and impacted their ability to travel in the same way they used to. As it was becoming clear that Breeze would soon require full-time care, Sue, then a small business owner, left her career to provide this support. In 2015, Breeze was admitted to hospital and was later transferred to Toronto's Hospital for Sick Children for the specialized care she now needs. After learning of the exceptional medical challenges Breeze would face and the need for 24-hour caregiver support, Sue and David made the difficult but necessary decision to relocate, leaving their lives, jobs, community, and dream home in the north. To them, it was important that they could continue to care for Patrick and Breeze in their home, wherever that may be, and to do so, they needed to be close to the appropriate care, resources, and hospital for the many medical appointments that would follow. As both Breeze and Patrick required the use of a wheelchair, they spent endless hours searching for accessible housing that could accommodate their current and anticipated needs. As they settled into their new home, they would soon be connected with their care coordinator, Sabrina, who has shared just how fortunate she feels to be part of their journey. While bittersweet, one thing that has come from their connection to Toronto Sick Kids is finally receiving a diagnosis for some of Breeze's conditions that she's been enduring. They were surprised to learn that one of these diagnoses meant that Breeze is one of 3 known cases in the world. Hearing this helped Sue and David. Although research and awareness remained limited, they knew that they were connected to a care team well-positioned to support Breeze. This lack of information also led Sue to document everything she could over the past decade to help the team and others while reflecting on Breeze's many achievements. As foster parents, they have worked incredibly hard to understand and navigate and partner with several agencies from across the health and social sectors, and the added challenges that came when Patrick and Breeze transitioned to adult services. This meant needing to coordinate and familiarize all new providers and partners with their children's unique needs, relentless in their advocacy to ensure they are best supported. In addition to the strong sense of independence they have instilled throughout their lives, Sue and David have respectfully fostered and encouraged Patrick and Breeze's deep pride and connection to their Indigenous heritage, culture, family, and communities. Sue and David take every opportunity to celebrate their children's many accomplishments, and with their unwavering support, both Breeze and Patrick graduated from high school. Patrick went on to post-secondary education, and following his college graduation has expressed an interest in mental health and counseling. These celebrations and birthdays are always extra special. They are a gift, and so they don't hesitate to go big. Not knowing what each day will bring, they strive to make every moment count and focus on spending as much time together as they can. As Breeze, now 24, requires full-time care, she and Sue spend their days together following a complex routine, finding opportunities that encourage independence and autonomy wherever they can. They balance appointments and therapies with special hobbies and activities like puzzling, where Breeze's keen eye is something that will never cease to amaze Sue. Breeze has an infectious smile, immense empathy, and a great sense of humor, which she demonstrates through her love of pranks, with David often on the receiving end. When reflecting on their journey, David shares, "Sue and I have had each other for the first 15 years together. With children, your priorities change, and I just want to be there for my family. Happiness is always my goal." And this happiness is felt when David and Breeze have their excursions a few times a month, like shopping, breakfast, or even going to get her nails done. There's also trips to Toronto to see plays like Phantom of the Opera and Frozen after seeing how much she enjoys the theater. This also provides a reprieve for Sue, with David ensuring his wife and partner of 36 years is getting the time she needs for herself. While hesitant at first, Sue has found this much-needed respite just as important for her as it is for Breeze. Within her submission, Care Coordinator Sabrina, who has celebrated many milestones with the family, shared her admiration for Sue and David. She told us, "They have been incredible partners in care, and that they do so with patience and grace and ongoing commitment to providing their children with exceptional day-to-day care and the best lives possible." For Sue, David, and their family, this feeling is absolutely mutual, as they echo the same sentiment and what it has meant to have Sabrina supporting them over the last 11 years. They told us, "We just love Sabrina. She fought for us so many times. I cannot say enough good things about her. We are so fortunate to have her." When we asked Sue to reflect on her caregiving journey and preparing her story, she said to us, "It's very difficult to put into words. It's been a great journey, and learning how to dance within the experiences. We have no regrets. We never look back. We always face forward. We have created our own little world of happiness."
What incredible examples of partners in care, with both parents Sue and David and their children, and the long-standing partnership with Care Coordinator Sabrina. It's also reflected in the many ways Sue and David have encouraged their children's autonomy and independence over the years. Thank you so much, Sabrina, for highlighting this incredible journey, and Sue and David for allowing us to share your story of love and profound commitment to providing your children with everything they need to live their very best lives. Thank you.
Just said it beautifully. I'll just echo the thanks to Sabrina and to Sue and David for sharing that with us. We are so touched to be able to see how your love and dedication has meant the best lives that you can for your children. Thank you so much. Our next partner recipients are Deanne Michelle Waterworth from Peterborough. I will turn it over to Claire McCabe to share Deanne and Michelle's story.
Good afternoon. My name is Claire McCabe, and I'm Vice President of Patient Services with Ontario Health Home. I am so thrilled to be with all of you today as we recognize the incredible work of caregivers across the province. I am honored to introduce our next partner in care recipients, Deanne Graham and Michelle Waterworth from the Peterborough area, who were recognized by their care coordinator, Cindy Robbins.
For Deanne, caregiving didn't begin in adulthood. It began at just 16 when her family first met Tanya. At that time, Tanya was just over a year and had spent most of her life in hospital before being placed in an institution. Born with complex medical needs and frequent grand mal seizures, she was frail and believed to be both deaf and blind. With an uncertain life expectancy and too young to remain in the institution, Children's Aid began searching for a foster family. It was then that Deanne's older sister Darlene would first meet Tanya during her nursing placement and learn about her experience. Shortly after, Deanne's parents also met Tanya and decided to bring her home. They did not see a child defined by limitations, but a sweet girl the whole family instantly fell in love with. While the transition wasn't easy, with patience they began to understand Tanya's cues and how to comfort her. Then, 8 months later, something remarkable happened when they saw that Tanya began tracking movement with her eyes and realized she could see. In that moment, a new world opened for Tanya and the entire family. For the next 33 years, Deanne's parents devoted themselves to her care and hands-on support she needed. When their mother's health declined, Deanne and her wife Michelle moved Tanya into their home, a full circle moment as her son JJ was then 16, the same age Deanne was when Tanya first entered their lives. Overnight, their lives changed. While balancing full-time careers and education and JJ's busy sports schedule, they also adapted their home, adding ramps and accommodating equipment, creating space and privacy for Tanya and her support workers. As Tanya requires constant care and cannot be left alone, making their home one of coordination, vigilance, and deep commitment was important. They brought Tanya everywhere possible, even to JJ's sporting events, navigating spaces not designed for accessibility. It wasn't easy in those early days, but being together mattered. Because Tanya cannot speak or move independently, she relies entirely on others for her care and advocacy. At just 65 pounds, she's especially vulnerable, or even a small issue can quickly become serious. Deanne and Michelle ensure that Tanya is always surrounded by people who understand her. Together, they are her voice, and over time, they built strong relationships with support workers, some of whom have been with the family for years. Still, with new staff require ongoing guidance. Explaining, teaching, and ensuring Tanya's care is understood in a system that isn't always designed for someone like her. They advocate across hospitals, agencies, and programs, and have developed clear tools like laminated guides and visuals to help others provide consistent, informed care. They also encourage connection, ensuring anyone that enters Tanya's world understands not just her needs, but her humanity. Today, nearly 15 years into their caregiving journey, Deanne and Michelle continue to lead with love, patience, humor, and remarkable expertise. JJ, now 30, remains closely connected, bringing joy to Tanya with every visit. With Deanne deciding to retire early to provide primary care duties to Tanya, Michelle continues her work as an educational assistant, supporting children with autism that are also nonverbal, carrying her deep empathy and compassion in both her home and in her career. They strive to give Tanya experiences, like exploring the many events in and around Peterborough. They want to give her a full life and encourage her independence, which is why it's important for Tanya to get out on her own with her support workers into the community, attending library programs or trips to the mall or local park. Even more impressive, in encouraging Tanya's independence over the last several years, she's taken handy transit on her own to and from her weekly day program, something truly remarkable given her level of need. At home, it's often the simplest things that bring her happiness. Tanya enjoys anything Christmas and country music, and while Deanne and Michelle are not particularly fans of country music, they'll put it on knowing how much Tanya enjoys it. But caregiving at this level comes with sacrifice. Respite is rare and time away is unpredictable, with plans often changing in an instant. And in order for them to get away for even a weekend, it requires 3 to 4 workers from different organizations. However, Deanne and Michelle make the most of what they can, often joking that going for a drive to grab a coffee or talk is their typical date night. They have completely devoted their lives to caring for Tanya. It wasn't until last year, with the support from Darlene, that Deanne and Michelle were able to take their first extended vacation in nearly a decade, a chance to rest and reconnect. In her acknowledgement and submission, Care Coordinator Cindy commented on how dedicated Deanne and Michelle are to managing Tanya's care. She shared, "I can't think of any 2 people that work better as a team. You can truly feel the love in this home."
In meeting with Deanne and Michelle to prepare their story, We were struck by how they've embraced their new world and the many ways their story exemplifies partnership. Deanne shared that she and Michelle would not be able to have Tanya in their home without home care. She went on to say they are so grateful to be part of the program, and it's these partnerships that give them the freedom to support Tanya's independence and care, while also providing them with peace of mind and respite. Upon receiving their acknowledgement, Deanne told us, "Tanya's the miracle. I'm just facilitating, and we can do this because of the many fabulous people supporting us." What a wonderful example of what it means to be a partner in care, both to Tanya, one another, our staff, and partners. Thank you, Deanne, Michelle, and Tanya, for sharing your story with us. And thank you to Cindy for recognizing the example of love, dedication, and sacrifice.
It truly is a beautiful example of partnership. And thank you. I'll echo the thanks to Deanne and Michelle for letting us tell your story, and a story that continues with great love. Our next category is caregiver innovation, that recognizes a caregiver that uses innovative and creative strategies to support their loved ones. This year's recipient, A.V. Parmar from Maple, Ontario, was recognized by his friend and neighbor for over 25 years, Augusto Jimenez.
Hello, I'm Thomas Boardman, a member of the Board of Directors at Ontario Health Home. I'm honored to introduce this year's Caregiver Innovation Story. This recipient was recognized from his neighbor of more than 25 years, Augusto Jimenez from the Vaughan area.
For some, it takes years before they recognize their role as a caregiver. For Avi Parmar, that realization came through a series of defining moments. As an only child, supporting his parents, Lena and Daljeet, came naturally. So when Lena, a sociology professor, experienced a cardiac event in 2011 that required triple bypass surgery, Abby was there by her side without hesitation. While balancing his career with her recovery, Abby began to approach caregiving differently. Drawing on his background in finance, strategy, and operations, he applied a system lens approach, finding practical, thoughtful ways to support his parents while preserving their dignity and comfort. He also leaned on the support of his longtime friend and neighbor of over 25 years, Augusto, who had also become like family to them. Their family would face another setback, however, when Lena was later diagnosed with cancer. Aware of her fears around chemotherapy and its impact on her independence and self-expression, Abby responded with care and intention. He learned how to cut her hair, and they took it in stages, and when she was ready, found stylish caps to help her feel confident. This had the intended impact, as Abby recalls her first appointment, when despite the weight of the day, Lena was so pleased with her outfit that she asked him to take her photo. As Abby continued supporting his mother, his father's health began to decline. In time, he would step fully into the role of primary caregiver for both his parents, as Daljeet experienced the physical and cognitive effects of early onset dementia. Over the next 5 years, Abby would balance caregiving with his career and volunteer work, while also deepening his commitment to learning. He immersed himself in research and completed training in first aid, as well as empathy and mindfulness, tools that he said helped him navigate the realities of long-term caregiving. He also transformed his home to meet his parents' evolving needs, creating a safe, calming, and accessible environment. Every decision was intentional, supporting independence while reducing risk. To maintain peace of mind while working, he introduced discreet motion alert technology, including video recordings, which also offered comfort to Lena that she could now see her beloved garden and stay connected. When Lena passed away in 2023, Abby faced profound loss of his mother while also continuing to care for his father, supporting him through the progression of the disease that at times was difficult for Daljeet to fully understand and grasp Lena's passing. It was ultimately his mother's encouragement that led Abby to share his caregiving experience, something he had once been hesitant to do due to stigma and cultural expectations and potential impacts on his career. Lena, who dedicated her career to amplifying underrepresented voices, saw the unique opportunity his story could have, particularly within the South Asian community, where men may feel less comfortable speaking about caregiving. She encouraged him to be brave, to be open and vulnerable, knowing it could help others feel less alone. Today, Avi honors her legacy by speaking openly and advocating for caregivers. He also continues to explore practical solutions to support care at home, from voice-enabled systems that help his father navigate his daily routines, like turning on the lights or turning on and off the TV, to smart boxes and locks that allow care providers to come and go with ease and minimal disruption, as well as GPS tracking on medical equipment to assist when out of the house. Avi and Daljit have also taken part in research initiatives to support both patients and caregivers, like a virtual reality headset through the Kite Research Institute that provides short-term respite for Avi. Daljit can explore the aquarium or travel around the world accompanied by calming music that provides him with stimulation and engagement. Avi also supports projects exploring ways artificial intelligence can help filter alerts, ensuring that caregiver notifications are necessary and meaningful rather than overwhelming, a challenge that he's experienced. He also uses online platforms like the Neighbor app, where he can connect to caregivers in his community to share resources as well as coordinate ride-sharing opportunities, further strengthening his network. Avi also spends his time supporting organizations like Mackenzie Health, CHATS, and the Western Region Ontario Health Team, where he shares both his professional expertise and his lived experience as a caregiver, honoring his mother's legacy. Today, Avi remains committed to a promise he made his mother before she passed, that his father would remain at home with him, and while it took time, they have found a sense of rhythm and predictable stability. Spending time with Avi and Daljit, the care and intention behind their daily lives is clear. Each detail is thoughtfully designed to provide a dementia-friendly home that provides care and support. Together, they enjoy regular outings, including walks at the local track, and have even begun traveling again, something their family had always enjoyed. Last year, with the support from Augusto and close friends, they even took a trip to the Dominican Republic. Though Avi was initially hesitant at first, he embraced the experience, finding that the benefits far outweighed the uncertainty. In preparing for this story and learning more about Avi's journey, he's continued to express his gratitude for this recognition, but also how being acknowledged, especially as a male, culturally diverse caregiver, has really meant a great deal to him and is in keeping with his mother's wishes. And sharing, I'm always happy to connect, collaborate, and contribute to this community.
There are so many great examples of how caregivers are often required to find those creative solutions, wherever they may be. Thank you to Augusto for recognizing his friend and neighbor Avi. His story reflects how transformative caregiving can be, and appreciate how Avi has turned his experience into advocacy, leadership, and service, a lasting tribute to his mother's wish. Thank you, Avi and Daljit, for allowing us to share your story, and honor Lena.
Thank you, Avi. We clearly need your innovative mind and spirit and all your contributions as we think about caring for all patients and caregivers in the future. Thank you so much. It's now my pleasure to introduce our sixth and final recognition category, Young Caregiver. This category recognizes the extraordinary efforts of a friend or family member under the age of 30 years who's gone above and beyond to support the needs of a loved one. We know that caregiving at a young age can shape and affect the trajectory of a person's life, often resulting in the individual having to grow up fast at a time when they are still discovering themselves. I now have the great honor of introducing you to two wonderful young caregivers. This year's Young Caregiver recipient, Anna Sami, who was recognized by care coordinator Megan McGuinness. When Anna's mother, Maria, developed an early onset and rapidly progressing dementia, Anna adjusted her own life to be able to be there for her mother. While trying to juggle a post-secondary education and a part-time job, she quickly learned to navigate the world of hospital advocacy, specialist appointments, behavioral strategies, personal care, and community support. As Maria's health and care needs increased, Anna has made many difficult and life-changing decisions, one of which was moving home to provide full-time care to her mother to ensure her safety. She's quickly established stable and caring routines to keep her mother calm happy, and loved at home for as long as she can. Now, as they prepare to transition to long-term care, Anna has made thoughtful plans to ensure her mother never feels abandoned. When we first reached out to Anna with this recognition, her immediate response was, "Of course, she's my mom." And in preparing for today, we got to learn more about their relationship. Anna told us that it is her mom's influence that has shaped who she is today. She finds this time with her mother special and has brought her family together. We are pleased to recognize Anna and her outstanding care and support. She continues to provide Maria. Thank you, Megan, for sharing all of the ways Anna has and continues to go above and beyond. As you can imagine, it's difficult to select the stories we feature throughout this event. In preparing for today, there was one outstanding young man whose story touched many of us. I'm so pleased to recognize 11-year-old Dimitri Porter, who was recognized by his mother, Anika, also happens to be an Ontario Health Home Care Coordinator. At 11 years old, Dimitri demonstrated remarkable resilience and encouragement while helping care for his Aunt Veronica during her 5-year journey with dementia. As her condition progressed, Dimitri consistently showed patience, responsibility, and emotional strength well beyond his years. He spent hours with his aunt every Sunday, gently encouraging her to eat and drink when she was reluctant, understanding that these small acts were essential to her well-being. When Veronica's mobility became unstable, Dimitri stayed by her side, walking with her to ensure she could safely move to and from the bathroom. After she suffered a fall, Dimitri accompanied her to the hospital, remaining calm and supportive during a stressful and unfamiliar situation. Despite the challenges of witnessing a loved one's declining health, Dimitri found ways to bring joy and comfort to his aunt by playing games with her and making her laugh. Through his consistency, compassion, and positive attitude, Dimitri showed resilience by continuing to show up emotionally and physically, and encouragement by helping his aunt feel supported, safe, and cared for during a very difficult time. I hope you saw in all these stories the many ways that they inspire all through many, many challenges and pressures. And it is our honor to be able to recognize all of you and so many more caregivers who we work with every single day. We know that this is your reality, and your efforts should never go unnoticed. What may seem like simple actions, often done instinctually and without thought, truly result in remarkable impacts. Whether it's honoring a loved one's wishes, shifting priorities, or making time, it is noticed and valued. While we were able only to highlight 14 of you today, there are many more stories of resiliency and unconditional love. Please join me as we take a moment to recognize them all. You'll notice that their names are being shared on screen. I'd also like to thank everyone who took the time to submit a caregiver for recognition, whether these came from Ontario Health at Home staff or community members. Thank you for helping us make visible these important stories. We're now going to close with an Indigenous greeting. We started today's event with a greeting from Jody Harbour, and we end the same way. So I'm going to turn to Jody Harbour from Grandmother's Voices once again to share concluding remarks.
As we prepare to close our time together, I want to offer you a moment of stillness, of quiet reflection. Let us take a deep breath together. Breathe in love. Breathe out gratitude. Today, we have honored caregivers from many walks of life. We have heard their stories, we have felt their courage and their compassion. We have been reminded of the power of one person's kindness to change the world. In our Indigenous ways, we believe that everything is connected. What one person does ripples out and touches others, like a stone dropped in the water. A caregiver's love is like that ripple. It moves through time and space. It weaves itself into the lives of others, binding us together in a web of support and care. I want you to imagine a grandmother's lodge. In that lodge, there's a sacred fire that has been burning for generations. That lodge is tended by the caregivers. They gather wood when it is cold. They shield the flame from the wind when it threatens to blow out. They feed it with their prayers and their songs. And in doing so, they keep the warmth alive, not just for themselves, but for the whole community. This is not an easy task. To care for another is to carry their joys and their sorrows. It is to be present, even when the journey is difficult. But it is also to witness moments of deep love, of connection, of healing. Our ancestors teach us that the greatest gift we can offer another is to walk beside them, not to fix or to save, but to simply be present. And caregivers, you do this every day. You offer your presence, your strength, your love. You are the hands that hold, the voices that comfort, the hearts that understand. As we close this gathering, I ask each of you to hold the caregivers in your hearts, to carry their stories with you, to speak their names in your prayers and in your ceremonies. And if you are a caregiver yourself, I ask you to take a moment to honor your own heart, to acknowledge the sacred work you do, to know that you are not alone. The circle of care is a sacred one. It has no beginning and no end. It includes those who receive care, those who give care, and those who witness and support the journey. We are all part of this circle, and together we keep it strong. In closing, I offer you words from one of the grandmothers who taught us, you are the medicine. Your love, your compassion, your presence, these are the medicines the world needs most right now. May you carry these teachings forward. May you continue to walk in a good way. And may you always remember that in this great web of life, we are stronger together. Yamagoa Chimagwech. Thank you.
So that concludes our program. And I want to say thank you to all of you for joining us today and for your patience. We hope that this program was inspiring to you. We hope that we continue this program for many years to come. It's so important to our mandate, to our mission, and we are so grateful to the many caregivers that we work with every single day. And thank you to our team who put this together. And just want to say I'm leaving this session inspired, and I hope you all are too. Thank you.